Oh man, bro's hiding. Not even on Thursday, but like for this show as well. But yeah, big up guys. Welcome back to the channel and Ten's channel. If you're watching on his channel, welcome to La PIñA Rosa, where we talk about Deportivo and Palermo. Unfortunately, the true cooking will have to wait till Thursday when we talk about Spurs and Newcastle, of course. But listen, another good week for Palermo, but Deportivo, kind of a very unexpected result at home for them, it's fair to say, and a bit of an embarrassing result, to say the least. But listen, Ten, you're hiding. You had it with his chest. Look, I don't want to talk too much. Obviously, the Sunderland game we will talk more about on Thursday. But yeah, I can tell you're just fed up. But yeah, welcome back. How are you?
I'm good. Doing very well. Looking forward to talking about Deportivo losing. And there's a game tomorrow as well for Deportivo. So
Yeah,
we'll probably lose that. So yeah, this is way too complicated. I don't have a block cover.
now save it for
It's way too hard.
You've done the background as well. Save it for, you can figure something out for Thursday when you'll probably have to truly hide. But yeah, big up to the chat of big up to Evolve today. I didn't know Ronaldo's joining Fast and Furious. I haven't seen that. Big up to you. Big up to Dantrum as well. Every single time, and Jordan, who we will be doing a preview on his channel and my channel ahead of the Spurs Liverpool game. So stay tuned for that later on in the week. But yeah, like and subscribe to both channels. This is being streamed on both shows. Of course, we're here to talk about Deportivo and Palermo. Yeah, obviously for you, a horrible weekend with both your clubs. For me, 50% good, 50% bad. Albeit one of my clubs has now made me want the manager out. So yeah, which again we'll talk more about on Thursday. But we're here, of course, to talk about Deportivo and Palermo. And I guess we will start with Deportivo. They played Real Sociedad, not Real Sociedad, actual Real Sociedad, but Real Sociedad B team. And what happened in that game, you may ask? Well, wrong button. What happened in that game was Deportivo lost 3-0 at home to Real Sociedad B. Real Sociedad B, who was struggling down towards the bottom of the table. Deportivo, who they did lose to Castellón last week, but were sitting in a good position in the automatic promotion spots. And I think it's fair to say this was not a result that anybody saw coming. This was a very surprising result. I don't think anyone thought Deportivo would lose 3-0, let alone lose at all this game. I thought that it would be a comfortable win, a winnable game for Deportivo. To kind of get back on track. However, though, it is 2 losses on the bounce now. And after that really good run, we for their sake, they got to hope that, look, it's not going the other way now where they, get stuck in a rut. But yeah, this was bad. This was, from what I saw, interesting. It probably wasn't a 3-0 game. I don't think Real Sociedad B were that good to the point where they probably deserved a 3-0 win. But nevertheless, it doesn't take away from the fact Deportivo were poor. They weren't sort of at their usual level that they should be. And Real Sociedad, to be fair, did really well to hit them on transition, especially for a couple of those goals. And yeah, 3-0 in the end. Not a good result whatsoever for Deportivo. As you can see, these are the 2 lineups. Ten, what was your thoughts? Obviously, a very bad defeat against a team at home that you should be beating. But to lose this heavily, it's pretty horrific if you ask me. But yeah, what's your thoughts? Did the performance warrant the scoreline? And yeah, just in general, what's your thoughts on the results?
Yeah, I mean, not a good result. Losing to the B team of Sociedad, which, to be fair, Sociedad is a pretty, good academy, you can say. So, because obviously most of these players are from the academy of Sociedad. So, there's no shame in losing to academy-ish players. But yeah, this is obviously, I just found out that this was actually not only their first win, Sociedad B, it's actually their first ever point away from home this whole season.
They had lost every away game before this.
Yep.
My word. Dr. Deportivo.
Yeah. So obviously, based on that it's definitely, I would say, I feel like this is probably the worst performance. I think in terms of like losing this heavily, I know it didn't look like a 3-0, but I would still say a pretty poor performance. In terms of the lineup, obviously didn't have Nobi, who played in the Castellon game. And coincidentally, right now, Castellon are winning at the moment.
Yeah, you see it here.
Against Miranda's. So, yeah, I think, 2 losses in a row is not great. But I would say the team overall wasn't that good in terms of the performance. And, for any Arsenal fans somehow watching, Charlie Patino started and got hooked before the 60th minute.
Stinker and hooked.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, tell the story. You went into Lee Gunner's chat once and was like,
"Oh yeah,
tell everyone that Charlie Patino." What was it you said? You were like, tell everyone that Charlie Patino is not great or something.
Yeah, like I forgot what stream it was. Lee Gunner was like, "Oh, Deportivo have a chance of getting promoted if they don't start Charlie Patino." Well, there you go. there's the evidence. Lose to a team that have not even picked up 1 point away from home until the other day. So, yeah, not good. In terms of like the performance from most of the players, not really that good, even though, yeah, you could say the front line was okay. I mean, Deportivo probably could have scored in the first 10 minutes, you could say. But, it didn't matter in the end. I would say I don't really think there wasn't really any standout players for Deportivo, even though like Soriano, Maya, Yeramai all were pretty okay, but not like amazing. And yeah, it wasn't great to lose this heavily at home, and that's obviously now back-to-back home losses, first time this season, and we have obviously a cup game we'll talk about in a little bit, which is tomorrow.
To be fair, still in the top 2, which is interesting. I mean, obviously, other results went your way, but it's not great. It would have been a good opportunity to build a bit of a gap.
Yeah, I think your microphone is a bit, I don't know. It's not laggy, but what do you call it? It's a different microphone. But yeah, in the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean right now as it stands, I mean I would assume Castellon beats Miranda's. It's from 1st to 5th, or even like 2nd to 5th. It's only 1 point, and obviously, those 2 losses were at home. Obviously, one of them being against Castellon and the other one being Sociedad B at home. So it's not really the best sort of, like. Obviously, at least in November, I did call that Deportivo would practically win every game. But obviously, since the start of December, it seems like after we succeeded lose November, we've gone and like get battered, by 3 goals in both.
6 goals in 2 games, like it's not good enough. I mean, defensively, you guys were looking pretty good. And obviously these last 2 games have happened. But I mean, you look at Real Sociedad B, they're all the way down here. They're a point above the relegation zone. You should not be losing 3-0 at home to them. Like it's not a result that you should be getting. It's as simple as that. And I mean, Dantrum's right. It is very tight, which is obviously good for Deportivo that loss, didn't send them plummeting down the table or anything. But, they are still second, which is good. But I think if they're going to stay there, they can't be having games like the last 2 games, basically. Yeah. We'll see whether they just got to hope that it's not a rot and that you guys,
and not many teams chase us. I mean, kind of lucky. I know obviously losing is not the best, obviously, but everyone in the top 4 or did not win.
Failed to win, yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it softens the blow because now we going. Somehow, of all teams, the surprise challenger of the season seems like will be Castellon, and they're winning right now. So they're on
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah, so that's like what, the top 5 fighting for 2 places, because I'm pretty sure at some point Santander will also lose games, will lose games. Maria will probably lose games and all that. And Las Palmas, could have been a lot higher up, but winless in the last 3. So, it seems like the Christmas period and all is not doing well for anyone apart from Castellon, who are probably going to win now. But yeah, I think obviously we have one more game in the Segunda until the 2-week break.
Oh yeah, winter break, yeah.
So, and we're away. So I don't know, maybe that kind of helps with maybe no home fans, like as in, well, there will be obviously fans, away fans for the Andorra game, but maybe not have that pressure of the home fans, I would say.
Your home record was good though. I think you're unbeaten at home. Am I right? So you're unbeaten at home before these 2 games.
Yeah, and now we might go.
That's why it's a pretty shocking result. Yeah, that's why it was kind of pretty shocking, to be honest. I mean, I thought based on the players that Deportivo had and the way they were playing, I thought that should be a comfortable win. And it's annoying because it was obviously the chance to go 3 points clear, of third, Almeria, kind of start to consolidate the Miranda's just equalized, so Castellon maybe he just thinks that. But yeah, it's obviously a bad result. But we'll see. I mean, obviously, like you said, Deportivo, the other results helped them, so they kind of didn't, lose a lot of space. But they definitely missed a big chance to extend the gap from the playoffs to obviously their spot in the second automatic promotion spot. But yeah, obviously not a good game from you guys whatsoever. From what I saw, you just got cut open. You got cut open too easily on the transitions. On the transitions, you were hit way too easily. I know their second goal was pretty good goal, but it wasn't. Defensively, I think it was pretty bad from you guys. I mean, you lost 3-0. You still played better than Spurs did yesterday. You still did way more than we did. So I think that's saying something. But obviously, your next game is tomorrow. You play in a pretty big game. It's Deportivo. They will play a La Liga side in the Copa del Rey. They will face Mallorca. Mallorca, of course, got to the final a couple of years ago. Obviously lost to Athletic Club. That was it. Yeah, exactly. So obviously a big, sort of a big game, Mallorca, La Liga team. Is this the first time Deportivo have played a La Liga team since they went into the 3rd tier? Or have they met in the cup with someone else?
I mean, probably in the cup with someone, but I don't remember. But obviously, last season, Deportivo were knocked out in the first rounds of the competition, the Copa del Rey, so didn't really have that opportunity. But yeah, Mallorca, obviously, everyone knows a little bit more about Mallorca than, like, let's say Andorra. You could say people with Andorra is like either Dora the Explorer or the team that England always beats like 5-0 at like every World Cup qualifier. So yeah, I think Mallorca.
It's a shame you guys could have got Betis.
But oh well. But yeah, this game will be at home because the lower tier teams host the higher seeded teams, you can say, or the teams higher in divisions. So yeah, the only teams we could have gotten was a La Liga team anyway. I think there's only one La Liga matchup in the round of 32, which is Alaves Sevilla. But yeah, I think overall this game against Mallorca, obviously this is now technically the final home game before Christmas or before the new year, before 2026. But yeah, obviously, back-to-back home losses, and you would have expected that, Castellon, Sociedad B, Mallorca, which one Deportivo most likely loses is, well, Mallorca, you would assume, because obviously a La Liga team and all. But yeah, I think, am I confident in this game? Not really, because obviously Mallorca just came off of a 3-1 victory against Elche on Saturday. and they look pretty decent. I know at
they're currently 14th, so they're not. I know they were doing better last season, but this season not quite. But yeah, they're obviously a La Liga side, like you said.
Yeah, and obviously Elche were just promoted, so by technicality they play a almost very recent Segunda team in Elche, and
they're 11th. Elche are kind of one of the surprises in La Liga this season.
Them or Espanyol, but yeah, I think for this game against Mallorca, I mean, I don't know how much Mallorca might rotate, and also the same thing for Deportivo. So I'm not really sure what sort of team to expect from either team. I mean, obviously, you would expect Mallorca to have obviously the better players, but
they got Mariki, who probably is going to get sent off or something like this guy. Yeah,
probably. I mean, from what I remember, the last couple games for Mallorca, they actually did play teams that just got promoted. Oviedo 0-0 and then Elche 3-1. But I know the upcoming fixture is Valencia at away in Valencia just before the winter break. So, and also, you know, Valencia and Mallorca, they're in and around the same position in the league. So I would feel like both Deportivo and Mallorca are probably going to rotate a bit, but also I'm not going to say, oh, don't mind getting knocked out or whatever, but I would say like
that's the English mentality.
No, that's more of Arsenal's mentality.
Yeah, Arsenal exactly. Yeah. But when I say English mentality, what I mean is like,
oh yeah, I don't mind losing.
Exactly. Like I feel like in Spain, like especially in Spain and in Italy as well, like you see clubs prioritize the cup because they know it's something they could win. Whereas in England, it's like, oh no, I want to prioritize top four. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean.
I wonder what other fan base does that. SUNDE or LAND, but then they're not even going to get the top 5. But we'll see. But yeah, I think this game against Mallorca is going to be tough. Obviously, at home, the final home game of the calendar year of 2025. You know, after back-to-back home losses, you probably now expect, or maybe the form continues of Deportivo not doing well at home now because of back-to-back home losses. But you know, Mallorca, they also have to rotate their team. I mean, the previous round in the Copa del Rey, I'm just checking, they play a team. Oh, I forgot where they're from, but they used to be in La Liga a long time ago. Numancia, but I forgot where they're from. I think they're from near Zaragoza, maybe. But that game ended 3-2 for Mallorca. So, you know, they could have been eliminated in the previous round, but obviously it doesn't matter because the XG was 2.19 still. So, you know, Mallorca still did pretty well in their cup game in the previous round. And also you can say Mallorca does have the experience of going far in this competition because it was just 2 years ago that they made the final and could have been in Europe, you know, something that even Sunderland haven't done yet. But yeah, and
Ozan Kabak. big up to Ozan Kabak.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. But yeah, I think overall, Mallorca, or I would still back Mallorca, unfortunately, to beat Deportivo just because I feel like they have the experience of going far in the cup very recently. You know, they made the final of something that Arsenal haven't done very recently, and Sunderland, but and Spurs. Well, actually, no, I can't say Spurs.
Nope.
If it's domestic, but yeah, I would say it is going to be a tough game. The game is obviously tomorrow at 7:00 here, 6 p.m. UK. So, you know, I would say it's a big opportunity because if Deportivo were to win, obviously you get into the round of 16, and obviously they'll still put the lower seeded teams, you know, to play the higher seeded teams or the La Liga teams. You expect them to progress, but you know, hopefully maybe because I think it'll be on the week of the 14th of January, the round of 16. And who knows, maybe Deportivo gets a. This is Deportivo could then actually get a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, and whatever, and that'll be after the Super Copa. I know, so
I think it's a big if you guys sort of win
yeah.
this game, because I think
And if
Mallorca,
I'll win, there's
yeah, look, obviously that you guys are being a La Liga 2 side. It's obviously you're naturally going to be the underdogs, I think, as well.
yeah.
On top of that, I think you're going to rotate because I know what we said about cups and like the mentality and stuff, but I do think that obviously, you know,
I think
realistic.
I feel like both teams, but both us and because Mallorca's upcoming team is Valencia, and Valencia are like what, the same position.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think you guys obviously being in such a tight promotion race and stuff, I think you will rotate like you have done in the last couple of rounds of the cup, albeit it was against sort of lower league teams. But in terms of predictions, I mean, obviously Mallorca, you'd expect them to win, being in the higher division, being, you know, not the worst La Liga team as well, but by any means. So yeah, I'm saying I think you guys lose. I think your cup run comes to an end personally, especially with your last two games at home. So yeah, I can see I'll go 3-1 to Mallorca for you guys. What's your prediction? I mean, who knows? If you win this game, it's obviously a big thing, you know, beating a La Liga team and then going into the last 16, and then who knows? So
yeah, I think obviously if Deportivo were to win against Mallorca, then obviously you can carry that sort of belief again, you can say, heading into the final game of the year, calendar year, away at Andorra, which we'll talk about after this. Prediction: I want to keep the cup dream alive. I want to.
You never know. In cups, you never know. Like Wigan won the FA Cup when they got relegated.
Yeah,
so.
And Newcastle won a cup as well. You know. Yeah. The only bit of thing I can hold on to, but in terms of a prediction, I'll at least have some sort of belief. Maybe final home game, maybe can finally turn up. So I will go with Deportivo to win 2-1 against Mallorca.
You reckon you knock out a La Liga team?
Yeah, and maybe it could carry on to the league game happening on Saturday. So, you know, hopefully tomorrow will be good. You know, at least give me just give me one bit of happiness, please.
Yeah, I know it's been a tough few days. Yeah, I know, I get it. But it's interesting because obviously I know Palermo are out of the Coppa Italia now. We have been for a while, but we knocked out a Serie A team. We knocked out Cremonese, who are doing way better than I expected, if I'm honest, this season. Yeah. They're actually I know they got Vardy and stuff now. They're doing very well in Serie A. But we did knock them out on penalties, but then Udinese, we did obviously get knocked out to them. So, look, we'll see. We've already knocked out one Serie A team this season. We'll see if you guys can knock out a La Liga team. Obviously, Cremonese were in Serie B last season, which I still stand by. How they got promoted, I will never know. They were absolute bums last season. And look, they're doing right this year, but last season, trust me.
I think Jamie Vardy won the play of the...
Jamie Vardy, he became the first English player to win the MVP Serie A for a long time. I believe, monthly MVP. So, yeah, no, it's fair play to them. But obviously, Deportivo, obviously, we'll talk more about Palermo very soon. But Deportivo obviously have one more league game before the winter break. They will face FC Andorra away from home, which for those that don't know, that is a team that PK owns. I think, is it just PK or is it any other Barca players?
Actually, I'm not sure, but I just know about, obviously.
Yeah, PK has like ownership in it. Of course, Gerard Piqué. Andorra, look, they've kind of come up through the leagues. Not doing too well at the moment. They're sort of near the relegation zone, just above it, I believe. And yeah, Dantrum, exactly, yeah. He did. I think it was quite questionable, but look, fair play. But like I said, Cremonese are doing well. They are. Same with Sassuolo. The only newly promoted team that are where I thought they would be is Pisa. I mean, Pisa, I think, will go down this season personally, but
Fiorentina.
Oh, I'll tell you what, the more I watch, because I watched a bit of them against Hellas Verona, the more I see of them, the more I'm like, they're done.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have bottom level players. They don't have bottom, but they just are horrendous. Like,
they just play like
they're horrendous. Like, I'm telling you, they are horrendous. But
we'll talk about it halfway through. But
listen, the way it's going, hopefully Palermo don't play Fiorentina next season. Hopefully we swap. So, but yeah, we'll get into that later. But yeah, like I was saying, Deportivo play Andorra. Obviously, again, another opportunity to get a win to kind of stay at least in that top two. Yeah. But as we saw from the last game, look, they lost to Real Sociedad B, which they should not be losing to at home. So you can't really take this Andorra game for granted. Like you can't be as confident. I mean, I don't know how this is going. Exactly, they just won as well. So I mean, how do you feel ahead of this Andorra game, and what's your prediction for this?
Yeah, I think obviously this is going to be a tough game because obviously this will be for them Andorra their final home game of before Christmas and all. So obviously they want a good result, but the last game they did beat Real Valladolid. So obviously not the easiest and not the toughest opposition, but I would probably say
facts.
Yeah, but I would probably say for this game, obviously, I feel like it might depend on the cup game tomorrow. If Deportivo are true to the next round, maybe there's some confidence. But let's say if Deportivo lose, maybe there won't be that much confidence. So I guess it all depends on that. But I would say in terms of a prediction, I mean, I hope it's not 3 in a row in terms of like league.
Yeah, you can't be losing 3. You want to go into the winter break with at least a win. Like you want to going into that winter break, being in the top 2, I think is obviously a good kind of first half of the season, you could say.
Yeah, because obviously Santander will finish the year in first place no matter what.
Yeah.
So obviously you want to be the ones, up there. And had we beaten Santander, I think we would have actually been first still.
Yeah.
Back in
obviously that was a draw, wasn't it? So
no, they beat us.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Probably could have been a draw, but yeah, this game against Andorra, obviously they have a new manager, not the one they started the season with, because of really bad results. I think before the win this past weekend, I think they were 7-8 games winless and all.
Yeah. When at the start of the season, they actually had a good start to the season.
Yeah. And now, obviously, it's becoming, hopefully soon, like SUNDERLAND.
They're in your head.
Yeah. But in terms of a prediction, I'll say regardless of the game tomorrow and how the performance and momentum, I will go with a draw, 1-1.
1-1. Yeah, look, it's hard to argue because obviously if you're basing it off the last 2 games, you can't be too confident, even though Andorra are struggling. But obviously we'll see what happens against Mallorca in the Copa del Rey tomorrow. But I mean, if I'm predicting this, I think Deportivo will get back to winning ways. I think they lose against Mallorca, but I think they win against Andorra. I think they win 2-1 against Andorra. They'll just kind of, I think, grind out a win to just get back on track and at least be inside the top 2 come the winter break, which is obviously, look, when we did the season preview for both Deportivo and Palermo, 10 was obviously saying that if they're in and around that area sort of for the season, then, that's kind of what he expected and everything. So I think, if they win this game, obviously we'll see if Almeria and Las Palmas and stuff, if they drop points. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if they can make a gap, which obviously they failed to this weekend. But I reckon you guys bounce back. Not in the cup, so I reckon you get 3 losses in the row. But I think you win that one game at the end against Andorra. But we'll see. Obviously, it's a must-win game. Like, you guys can't be losing these sorts of points against teams in that end of the table. Like, it's as simple as that. So, before you move on, any final thoughts you want to say on Deportivo?
Yeah, I mean, obviously looking forward to the game tomorrow. I probably won't be able to watch the first half, but maybe I'll catch the second half against Mallorca because, it's you could say it's like a good test to see where Deportivo at in terms of like, if we get promoted, get to compete, see how well with these group of players, how we would compete against like a top, well, not the one of the best La Liga teams, but a pretty decent-ish La Liga team and all that. So it'll be a good test for Deportivo. Win, lose. Well, can't really. Well, it could be a draw, but would win or lose on penalties like Man United, Grimsby. But
Grimsby. Although Man United they're currently 1-0 up against Bournemouth right now.
Oh, but yeah, I'll go. I mean, not go. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow against Mallorca and see how we do against a La Liga team for the first time in a while. Because obviously, La Liga teams that drop down, they have to sell some players and all.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But let's move on to Palermo. And Palermo. Third win in a row. And I'll tell you something, guys. That is the first time we have won more than 2 games in a row for over a year. The last time we did that, and this goes to show you how inconsistent we've been for, especially last season and everything. The last time Palermo won 3 games in a row was during that Corini purple patch that I always talk about, where we beat Como, we beat Bari, we beat Ferro Piazzo, who aren't in Serie B anymore. We had that run, I think it was about 4 or 5 wins in a row, and then obviously we went downhill after that. That's Corini got sacked and everything. But it's crazy. This is the first time Palermo have won 3 games in a row.
So you can finally cut your hair.
Well, yeah, I can finally cut my hair. So
I'm cutting my hair until Palermo wins 3 in a row.
That's why, look, going into this game against Sampdoria, obviously Sampdoria were not doing well. But I was a bit skeptical. I'm like, is this team going to win 3 games in a row at last? And thankfully, that is exactly what happened. Palermo beat Sampdoria 1-0. If I'm being honest, not our best performance. I think that we should be winning this game by a lot more comfortably than what we did. But at the same time, I don't think Sampdoria threatened us too much. I mean, they had 1 shot on target the whole game, which was, I remember it was just a catch for Jolonen, basically. Obviously, Le Duron, Jeremy with the winning goal, a lovely counter attack, a really good transition goal. Something I haven't really seen too much of Palermo. I don't think we've been amazing in transition, but that was a very good sort of counter attacking goal. Obviously, if we go to the lineups, obviously, look, Sampdoria, obviously Sampdoria is a really big club, but they're not the Sampdoria that everybody knows historically. They're in a lot of trouble. They could be, or will very likely be, in Serie C for the first time in their history come next season. Yeah, and they should have. If it wasn't for Brescia getting liquidated, they would have been this season as well. But yeah, I'm looking at our team. Pretty much the lineup I expected. Jolonen, Ceccaroni, Bani, Berensinski, Agiello, Ranocchia, Segre, Pirozzi, Led Duran, Palumbo, and Poyampalo. So obviously, look, the situation with Brunori is interesting. There's obviously been talk, is his time at Palermo coming to an end? Of course, our captain. I mean, I think, it's still, quite a while before we get to that point, but he isn't in the team right now, which is obviously not something anybody really expected at the start of the season. But yeah, that was the lineup. Obviously, no surprises there. If I'm being honest, we had Diakite back from injury. So that obviously gave us another option in there as well. Hopefully Pirozzi's not injured, because he came off at half-time for Diakite, who played right wing back. I'm hoping Pirozzi's not injured. I'm hoping I can't remember what Inzaghi said about it after the game, but hopefully he's not injured. Obviously, the other concern is Palumbo. He went off with some sort of injury. I'm hoping that was just precautionary. So we'll have to see, because it was yet another assist for Palumbo in this game. Who the last 3 games with our winning run has really kind of finally found his feet in a Palermo shirt. He's kind of getting into the form that he was with Modena last season, which obviously made us buy him. But Yeah, it was not the best performance. I think it was definitely better than what we've seen, obviously, before this 3-game run, where we were getting beat 3-0 off Monza at home. We couldn't beat Virtus Entella. Definitely, a much better performance than those. So still a level up than what we were showing then. But overall, if I'm being fair, it wasn't a great performance from Palermo. But we got the job done. We weren't really tested going the other way. Our defense was not really bothered. Sampdoria didn't really offer a threat at all. And overall, defensively, it was comfortable. I think we should have scored more goals. But obviously, we see it out, and we do get the 1-0 win. Obviously, they're giving Ceccaroni man of the match. But yeah, look, I think I'd say Palumbo again. I think had another good game, like I mentioned there. So overall, a good result. Obviously, the momentum continues. 3 wins in a row. Are we turning a corner? Obviously, we're starting to creep back up towards those automatic promotion spots. Of course, in terms of other results, obviously it wasn't great. A lot of the teams around us won as well. However, Monza did lose. Monza did lose against Venezia this weekend. So. Look, we are now, despite being down in 5th here, we are only 2 points from Monza. We're 2 points from Monza. Unfortunately, it's those bastards Frosinone that are top. I do not like that site whatsoever. Let me do what I do with like the Premier League. One sec. There we go. So
you're 4th.
So yeah, technically now we're 4th, but jokes aside, still 5 points from Frosinone. I mean, but look, this is the thing. It can change, one bad result for them. If we keep winning, we can get close to that. And Monza have shown that they're not unbeatable. I mean, they were on a fantastic run, but the last 3 games, they haven't been great. And I think at the moment, across the last 3 games, we're, in form along with Catanzaro and Frosinone, of course. I don't like Frosinone being top, man. It's just so annoying, but listen, we got to catch them. And if we keep playing the way we are, obviously Sampdoria, I think the performance has to be a lot better than that. But, it was another result. And combining that, the performance against Calarese was great. The performance against Empoli was great as well. And we got another result against Sampdoria. So we're closing the gap. The revival continues. I just hope we keep it up. Obviously, we'll have to see if this team can win 4 games in a row, let alone 3. So, listen, look.
Before Man United.
Imagine, Palermo do it before Man United. I mean, so
even that already.
But yeah, like I said, still core. I'd say where I'm looking at Palermo right now, cautiously optimistic. I'm not going to get carried away. Look, if I'm being honest, at the start of the season, I did get carried away in quite a few ways. Obviously, we went through that really bad run, which I'm hoping now we're getting out of. Obviously, we're back in much better position in the table than what we were. So, yeah, I think that right now it's looking good, and I think that we're definitely in that conversation. We're still keeping ourselves in that conversation for the automatic promotion spots, and we'll see. Obviously, it was annoying because Cesena were 2-0 down to Mantova, who are obviously down here along with Sampdoria. So, yeah, it was annoying that Cesena did end up getting. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be if we do that, knowing the unpredictability of Serie B, if we did that, I think we'd go to the top of the league. If I'm being honest. So,
I mean, Frosinone are doing that.
Oh man, no, I'm not going there. Fuck Frosinone, man. Absolute cheats. But yeah, it's best defense in the league, along with Modena. Who again, I know Modena just won, but I did say Modena would drop off from the start of the season. So. Still, best defense in the league, joint best defense in the league. We're starting to get goals now. Poyampalo is now on to 10 goals for the season. So, at the moment, Inzaghi's getting it right. Let's just hope these players have changed it. Let's just hope the mentality has changed and that these players can put a run together. But like I said, a good result against Sampdoria. Not the best performance, but I'll take it. Scrappy win. Great goal on the counter-attack, like I mentioned. But, stay humble. You just got to stay humble and just keep it going. Because like I said, this league, Serie B, for those that follow it will know, it's a very tough league. We've been struggling to get out of it the last couple of years. So, very tough league. Just got to keep this form up. And I'm hoping we do. But yeah, Tem, before we obviously preview our next game against Avellino. What is your thoughts on Palermo's win over Sampdoria?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a pretty, you could say, comfortable performance, I would say. I mean, the goal was from a fast break, but like really good play. I forgot who. I know Palumbo led the one, and I forgot who's. I think it was Paulo with the flick.
I think it might have been, yeah.
Back
Yeah,
goal.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good goal. But overall, I think Palermo deserved the victory, even though like Sampdoria maybe had maybe one chance.
They barely, if I'm honest, I wasn't really too troubled, but they barely create. I mean, Pafundi was probably their best player on the ball. An interesting fact, the striker they got here, Coda, he's actually the all-time top goal scorer in Serie B. So, but he's not. He's old now. Like he's not the same as he used to be.
Yeah, he's like who's that striker a long time ago from Derby County? Like in 2015 times.
Do you mean like Jack Marriott or something?
Yeah, that one or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds like that sort of player, but
just championship, or in this case, Serie B, like merchant.
Yeah,
people would say that's Palo these days, if we're being honest. Which is why I'm glad we've got him, because he is, I would say, the best striker in the league.
Right now. I mean, he didn't score, but he's still the top goal scorer in Serie B. But yeah, I think overall a comfortable performance from Palermo, and it was just about getting the result at the end of the day. So now we'll see how you do in the following game.
Yeah, and obviously just a quick mention as well, Liam Henderson back at Palermo. Obviously he was on loan. He was on loan at Palermo 2 seasons ago from Empoli. So yeah, he obviously returned to the Barbera. And like I mentioned, there was a bit of news in the week, a bit of transfer news, bit linking us with Salvatore Esposito. Again, there's a few Esposito brothers. There's Pio Esposito at Inter. There's Sebastian Esposito at Cagliari now, I think. And there's Salvatore Esposito at Spezia, who is an extremely good young talent. We wanted him in the summer, but it didn't happen. And he's being linked now with January. So I think to improve that midfield, look, to be fair, Segre Ranocchia, I think I've had a couple of good games, but I think we do need some more quality in that midfield. I think Esposito would be a great signing if we can get him over the line. Obviously, we couldn't in the summer. And I think, yeah, it'd be good to get, because like I say with Palermo, our squad is like one of the oldest squads in the league. We have a lot of experienced players. We inject a bit of youth, a bit of energy in there. I think that could help us. Just balances out the team a little bit more. Esposito, he's young, but he's definitely ready. He's ready to come in, I think, and make a big impact if he was to join this January. So we'll see if, like I said, that's been some of the transfer rumors this week. Hopefully that gets over the line. I think it'd be a great signing for us come January. But yeah, obviously, like I said, a good result for Palermo. Performance has to be better, though, against better teams. But, I take the win. And like I said, shockingly, the first time we've won 3 games in a row for quite a long time now, for over a year. So, yeah, there you go. But I guess, like I said, let's talk about Palermo's next match. Of course, we will play Avellino. Avellino, who, out of the newly promoted teams, obviously there's 4 in Serie B, along with Virtus Entella, Padova, and there's one, Pescara. That's the other one who are rock bottom. Avellino have definitely been the best out of the newly promoted teams. They had a really good start to the season. In recent weeks, they have dropped off. They were in and around the playoffs for most of this season, but they have sort of dropped off the last few games. Only 1 win in their last 5. Recently, got lost 3-0 at home to Dionisi, Empoli. So I think that shows you how their form's dropped off recently. But listen, Avellino, it's away from home. This is not going to be an easy game. I'm not going to underestimate them whatsoever. Palermo obviously struggled badly against Virtus Entella. I'm hoping that we're sort of past that bad run. I'm hoping now that we have turned the corner, like I keep saying. However, though, there's no doubt this will be a tough game. Avellino, like I said, definitely the best of the newly promoted teams. They've surprised a lot of people. In fact, Avellino, they've surprised a lot. They've got some good results. And not only that, this game, there's a bit of revenge on the line for us because Avellino knocked us out of the playoffs to go up to Serie B in 2021. Obviously, we got promoted the next year, but Avellino did knock us out in the 2021 Serie C. playoffs. So a bit of revenge on the line. That was the last time we played Avellino. So hopefully we can get revenge. But this will be a tough game. No two ways about it. And, I'm kind of finding it. It's quite hard to predict. I mean, I'll let you go first on this, 10. I mean, looking at Avellino, looking at obviously Palermo, what do you think is going to happen in this game? And I guess also, I mean, from what you've seen, do you think Palermo have turned a corner over these last 3 games?
Yeah, I think obviously this game against Avellino, I mean, they've done, I guess, as a newly promoted team, very well, somewhat. But obviously, only 1 win in the last 5 at the moment. But obviously, things can change. I would probably say that for Palermo, have they turned the corner? Perhaps. I mean, unbeaten in the last 4 and finally won 3 games in a row, and Bournemouth did equalize against.
They did, yeah. By the way, Roma 0, Como 0. I'm following that one as well at halftime.
Come on, both teams. But yeah, I think have Palermo turned the corner? You could say so. I would say if the next 2 games you get wins, then I would probably say you have, because that means you have picked up form at probably somewhat at the right time.
And obviously as well, it's important to remember we don't have a winter break. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no winter break. No.
Isn't there like 2 weeks or something?
No. I mean, there is actually towards the end of December. There's like, there is that. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, we do have it. It's just later. Our winter breaks from the end of December till the 27th of December till the 11th of January. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Or something like that.
Just later. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think obviously the next 2 games before the winter break, you can say, I think Palermo have to get
against two newly promoted teams, against Avellino and Padova.
Yeah, and you have yet to play Mantova as well.
And that's the one after, yeah. And they're another very winnable game. I would say our next 4 games before we face Modena, our next 4 games against Avellino, Padova, Mantova, and Spezia. Obviously, Spezia having a horrific season this year. All of those 4, if I'm honest, they are all very winnable games. And we have a real chance to really get into that top 2, I think, over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and I would probably, in terms of like a prediction against Avellino, I would actually go with Avellino win, Palermo win.
I mean, to be fair, you did say we'd lose to Empoli. So I was saying, look, if you say we lose, we might win. So
okay, I'll say Palermo win. I would say Palermo to win. I'll say 2-0. I guess I think it'll be just getting the results over the line. I'll say if Paulo or Lerdoan scored, then that'll be good to build up the confidence heading into the game afterwards against Padova.
Padova, who we beat in the Serie C playoff final in 2022.
So they will have revenge.
Yeah, they'll have revenge. Yeah, but to be fair, us and Padova, the Ultras have a good relationship. Just like how Palermo Roma have a good relationship with the Ultras. Padova and Palermo Ultras have a good relationship as well. So
it's like what do you call this? Actually, I don't know. Does Newcastle really have a name? No,
in Italy, it's not really a thing. In Italy, it's quite a common thing. Like you have Palermo and Roma. Napoli have it with Catania. So.
And then, so does that mean you hate Lazio?
Napoli.
And Napoli. But yeah, I'll go with a 2-0 Palermo win against Avellino away. And I think that'll be a good result. And see if you somehow catch up to one of your favorite clubs, Frozone None.
I mean, look, obviously, I'm looking at that second place at the moment. We're 2 points off second, which is obviously a good position for us to be in right now. I think second at the moment, second place is definitely there for us if we can put a run together. Like I said, the next 4 games, if we can get 4 wins on the bounce, I think that sees us in the top 2, first or second. But it's a big if whether we're able to do that. Like I said, it's a really good, it's a very kind run of fixtures on paper. But obviously, Palermo, we know, don't always make things easy. And we have already this season at times, we have dropped points in games we should be winning. Most notably against Virtus Entella. Catanzaro, you could say as well. So although Catanzaro have massively improved in the last couple of weeks, to be fair to them. So I think that was the win against us pretty much kickstarted their season. They have really improved since then. So yeah, I reckon for this game, see, it's hard to call. I think we have to play better than we did against Sampdoria. I'm hoping we will. I'm hoping Inzaghi drills it into them because I think that his passion, I think, is really great. Avellino, I think we win 2-1. I don't think it will be as comfortable as, maybe we'd like. I think Avellino will cause us problems, but I do think we have enough to get over the line. Obviously, Poyampalo has hit form. He's kind of turning into the Poyampalo that everybody knows. So I back him to get back to scoring in this game, and I reckon Palermo will have enough. I'm hoping anyway, and I think we win 2-1. And hopefully that will be 4 wins in a row. And hopefully, we can put more pressure on that top 2. And hopefully, depending on other results, maybe even go into the top 2. But we'll have to see. But I do reckon Palermo have just enough. And I'm gonna say 2-1. 2-1, I think so. But like I said, cautiously optimistic. We just have to show, that we can be consistent. And we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But at the moment, I can only praise Palermo. We've definitely got back to the quality and the form that I expected after that, horrible run of games that we went on. So let's see. But yeah, I'm backing us to win this game, to be honest. So I guess that will wrap up the show. Of course, Deportivo and Palermo have big games ahead. We'll see if Deportivo can get back to winning ways. Palermo, can we continue this momentum that we're slowly building up? Get back towards the the top 2. But yeah, 10. As we wrap up, any final words you want to say before we head out?
Yeah, Man United just scored. Casemiro for halftime.
They're actually above us, man. It's so embarrassing. I mean, it's embarrassing for both.
I did say they would finish 5th. So, but
yeah.
I mean, obviously not been a good week for me, but hopefully, with maybe going to the next round of the Cup in both Deportivo and Newcastle. I just realized, actually both of my teams are still in the Cup, whereas Spurs, they really only have
both mine are out, although we still have the FA Cup.
But... Yeah, but everyone's in the FA Cup. Even Western Supermare is in the FA Cup. Sadly, not Tamworth. But yeah, looking forward to probably not watching Newcastle, but probably the Africa Cup of Nations, which I will do live watch longs for when the tournament starts on Sunday. So looking forward to that. And obviously I'll make my tournament predictions, and anyone, if you're watching, I'm pretty decent at least predicting the winner of competitions.
Yeah, he calls a lot. He calls a lot of things.
Yeah, so what do you call this? Like, if you want to know my track record, I said Spain to win the Euros before anyone really said Spain. I said Argentina to win the World Cup. I've said Real Madrid 2 years ago. I said Man City 3 years ago. Last season I said Inter, but at least they made the final. Everyone will know what my prediction is for the Champions League this year.
To be fair, that's not looking the best with how Madrid are doing, but
yeah,
which it is Madrid, to be fair.
If you saw what Maresca is also saying.
But
yeah, looking forward to the next few weeks, I would say, with just the winter break, and maybe probably international football is the best thing to happen now, instead of watching a certain team the other day. But yeah,
I'll be honest, I want international football back.
Come on, Zimbabwe. But yeah, doing some watch longs, and I'll make my predictions, which will come out later this week for that AFCON.
Yeah, look, stay tuned for that. AFCON should be very interesting. I'm sure I'll be on a few of those watch-alongs. You might catch some on this channel, potentially being broadcasted there as well. So, yeah, make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on. Also, check out, if you haven't already and you're watching live, check out the video that I did earlier surrounding the Thomas Frank situation at Spurs. I'm sure 10 might have already seen it. Yeah, let's just say it was a little bit of a preview into Thursday, where obviously we'll talk a lot about, both our managers that are under a lot of pressure right now at Spurs and Newcastle, of course. But yeah, not a good situation. At least Palermo won. That was definitely the highlight of my weekend. So it is, although that was on Friday technically, so it wasn't even Saturday or Sunday. But yeah, like I say, guys, please do subscribe to both channels. This show, of course, is broadcasted on 10's channel and my channel. So please subscribe to both of us if you haven't already. Get all your thoughts in the chat. Like both streams as well. And yeah, we will be back on Thursday, where we will both be crying, I'm sure, especially 10. Well, 10 deserves a bit of a cooking. So after all his chest, but yeah, we will see. We will see. So look forward to Thursday. And yeah, big up, guys, for watching as always. And we will see you in the next one.